We're going to be reading a short story called 11, written by Sandra Cisneros, okay? Have you guys ever read this story before yet?
No.
No? Okay. So, when we read a story that we've never read before for this first time, sometimes it can get kind of overwhelming, right? It can get kind of hard because there's so much pages and there's so much words, okay? But, especially when we're doing that, we start to think oh, what was the whole story about? And it's hard to remember, right? So we're going to use a process when we're reading that makes it easier to remember what we already read, and that's called thinking aloud. Do you guys know what that means? To think aloud.
You think out loud.
You think out loud, yeah. So how would you think out loud?
Talking.
Like talking, yeah. What else?
You think and you talk? I don't know.
You think and you talk, yeah. So it's to think aloud means you're sharing what you're thinking in your mind while you're reading, okay? So you can better understand all the pieces in the story, okay? So when you're doing this on your own, you don't necessarily have to be I think this, super out loud, especially if you're reading it by yourself, right? So you can either think to yourself or you can whisper to yourself, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing, and that's what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do as we read the story, okay? So it's called 11 by Sandra Cisneros, and I'm going to read it out loud, but I'm going to pause, and I'm going to show you guys how I think out loud so that you guys can practice that on your own, okay? So the strategy we're going to use is called what I see and what I think, okay? So when we are reading, I'm going to stop at certain points. I'm going to say, oh, I see this going on. Okay, and then I'm going to see, oh, I think this is what's happening, okay? Because it's a short story, not a picture book, it's kind of hard to know what we're seeing, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to kind of imagine all these thoughts in your head. Kind of like when you guys get a text message and you guys have to imagine what's going on, right? If you say, oh, guess what? You have to go through all these things oh, what could they be telling me, right? What could they be saying that they need to say to me? Okay, so it's kind of like that. We have to visualize what we kind of think is going on or how they're feeling. Okay, so we can go ahead and start reading. Okay, so I'm going to start reading right here and then we'll follow along. Okay, it says, what they don't understand about birthdays and what they never tell you is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when you wake up on your 11th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. Okay? So already I see that the narrator, we don't really know if it's a girl or a boy, but what can we kind of imagine they are? A girl or a boy?
A girl.
A girl. Okay? So I imagine her, I see her waking up on her birthday, and I think that she's not really happy to be turning 11, okay? And I see that because she says, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. And that happens sometimes when we wake up on our birthdays, right? Especially when you turn 13. You're oh, happy birthday, you're 13. And you're well, I don't feel different, right? You don't feel any different. Okay, so that's what I see, and that's what I think is happening. So let's keep reading. You open your eyes and everything's just like yesterday, only it's today. And you don't feel 11 at all, you feel like you're still 10. And you are underneath the year that makes you 11. Some days you might say something stupid, and that's the part of you that's still 10. Or maybe some days you might need to sit on your mama's lap because you're still scared, and that's the part of you that's 5. And maybe one day when you're all grown up, maybe you will need to cry if you're 3. And that's okay. That's what I tell Mama when she's sad and needs to cry. Maybe she's feeling 3. Because the way you grow old is kind of like an onion, or like the rings inside a tree trunk, or like my little wooden dolls that fit one inside the other, each year inside the next one. That's how being 11-year-old is. Okay, so there I'm going to stop and I'm going to do my think aloud. Okay, I see that the lines of the onion, right, when you guys see an onion, there's all those little green lines. Okay? They represent each year. They represent when you're 1, you're 2, you're 3 years old, you're 4 until you're 11. Okay? And especially in a tree, when you break a tree in half, what do you see inside? The lines, right? Okay? So those are all representing the years. So she's saying that she's comparing those things because she still feels, even though she's 11, she still feels like she's 1 years old and 2 years old and 3 years old, right? Okay? And that's what happens. So when we turn a certain age, we expect to feel mature, right? We expect to feel like a little bit older, okay? But she's saying that she still feels like she's 1 year old because, when you're 1 year old, what do you feel?
You're a baby.
Like you're a baby, okay? And how do you act like when you're a baby? You cry about stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're annoyed about stuff. And do we still feel that way even though we're 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay? And so that's what she's saying. That's what I think she's saying right there, okay? So let's keep going right here. You don't feel 11, not right away. It takes a few days, weeks even, sometimes even months before you say 11 when they ask you. And you don't feel smart 11, not until you're almost 12. And that's the way it is. Only today, I wish I didn't have only 11 years battling inside me like pennies in a tin Band-Aid box. Today, I wish I was 102 instead of 11. Because if I was 102, I'd have known what to say when Mrs. Price put the red sweater on my desk. I would have known how to tell her it wasn't mine, instead of just sitting there with that look on my face and nothing coming out of my mouth. Okay? So there, what I see happening is she's saying, I wish I was older than I already am. Okay, I wish I was 102 instead of 11. Because if I was older, maybe she would feel more confident to talk to the teacher, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I see. I see her feeling like I wish I was older. Okay, and that makes me think that she wants to be more mature. Okay, because when we're younger, do we really ever ask for the teacher for help? No. We get nervous, right? We're like, oh, even when we're older. I still sometimes don't like to ask people for stuff because I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to say or how to say it. Okay, so that's how I think she's feeling right there. Okay, so I see that happening and I think that's what's happening. Okay, so let's keep reading. Not mine, not mine. But Mrs. Price is already turning to page 32 and math problem number 4. Okay, so this next part that we're going to read, I'm going to have you guys stop. And you guys all have Post-it notes, right? Okay, so what I want you guys to do is right when I reread this part, I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask you guys, what do you see and what do you think? Okay, so on your Post-it note, I want you guys to write, I see and I think. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm feeling sick inside. Like the part of me that's 3 wants to come out of my eyes. Only I squeeze them shut tight and bite down on my teeth real hard. And I try to remember today I am 11. 11. Okay? So what do you see going on with the narrator there? And what do you think is happening? Okay? So write down what you see and what you think. Okay, alright. So, what did you see, Melanie? What do you see?
I see that she wants to cry.
You see that she wants to cry? What made you think that?
Because it wasn't her sweater.
Adara, what do you see?
She wants to cry.
Okay. What do you see that she wants to cry? Okay, what makes you think that? What do you think she wants to cry? What in the story told you that she's probably going to cry?
She had her eyes shut and there was water about to come out of them.
Yeah, she squeezes them shut, like how she said. The part of me that's 3 that wants to come out of my eyes, but I squeeze them, right? So it's like she wants to cry, kind of like when she was 3 years old. Okay, so good. Okay, we're going to read again and then we're going to stop at another part. That's when everything I've been holding in since this morning since when Mrs. Price put the sweater on my desk. Finally, let's go. And all of a sudden, I'm crying in front of everybody. I wish I was invisible, but I'm not. I'm 11 and it's my birthday today, and I'm crying like I'm 3 in front of everybody. Okay, so take the next post-it note. I put 3 in there. And then write down what you see and what you think here. So, Leticia, what do you see happening in that part?
From here?
Yeah.
Oh,
The one we read.
We're just crying and putting on the sweater slowly.
Yeah, good. Okay, and what did you think? How do you think she's feeling right there?
Mad and sad.
Yeah, mad and sad, right? Because she's saying, in that part, she's saying, it's my birthday today and I'm crying like I'm 3, right? She's saying like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. I'm crying like a 3-year-old and I'm 11 years old, right? Okay, so that was good, okay? That was a really good part. Okay, we're going to continue reading and then we're going to stop one more time. I'm 11 today. I'm 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But I wish I was 102. I wish I was anything but 11. Because I want today to be far away already. Far away like a runaway balloon. Like a tiny O in the sky. So tiny, tiny, you have to close your eyes to see it. Okay? So what do you see here and what do you think here? And that'll be our last one. What do you see going on? What do you think she's feeling? Okay, Melanie, what did you see happening there?
I see that I see that her face was getting hot and spit was coming out of her mouth.
Add that last one? Okay, how did you see that? How did you visualize that? Why did you think that her face was getting hot and spit was coming out of her mouth?
She was embarrassed.
She was embarrassed, okay? So she was embarrassed, okay? Dara, what do you think?
She was nervous.
She was nervous, okay? Leticia, what did you think? Okay, because she says, because today I want to be far away already, right? She's like, I'm done. Okay, I'm done with the day. Like, do you really think she was enjoying her birthday that day?
No.
No, she didn't like being 11, right? She hated turning a year older that day, okay? So she's saying, I want to run away, far, far away, okay? So that makes me think, as she says that she didn't enjoy her birthday that day, okay? So do you think she's having a good response to her turning a different age? Like her turning a year older, do you think she was happy about it or she was like upset about it?
She was upset.
Yeah, she was upset, okay? She's not saying I'm 11 and I'm not a little kid anymore. Is she saying that she's still a little kid inside, kind of? Yeah, because she's crying in class, right? She's crying like she's 3 years old, okay? And she is remembering that how she felt a long time ago, okay? So basically, this is her turning 11, but her not enjoying it. Kind of like when we turn 18, right? We say, oh, we turn 18. Oh, yes, I'm an adult now. I'm going to college. I'm going to go live my own life. I'm going to move out of my parents' house. But does everybody feel that way when they're 18?
No.
No, right? So I definitely did not feel that way when I was 18. I was glad that I was 18 and I was an adult, but moving away was pretty scary, okay? And that part of me inside, I was like, oh, I wish I was still 10 because I wouldn't have to worry about moving away, right? And when you're an adult, you have to worry about what kind of stuff? What do you have to worry about when you're an adult?
Bills.
Bills, yeah. What else?
And getting a job.
Getting a job, right? Paying for stuff, okay? Getting a job to pay for your stuff. What else?
If you have some.
Kids, if you have some,
Your
yeah.
insurance.
Your insurance, yeah. Stuff that you pay, right? Okay. And when you're an adult, right now she's 11, but does she still have like her mama and her dad when she goes home? Yeah, she said that, right? But when she is, imagine she turns 18, okay, and she moves out. Who's gonna be there?
No one.
No one. She's gonna be by herself, right? She's doing all those things on her own, okay? So she's kind of saying like, oh, I wish I wasn't 11 because I still want to be all these other ages. I still want to be a little kid. And that's how I felt when I was 18. I was like, oh, I'm 18 now, but you know what? I wish I was still 5 because I wouldn't be worrying about bills. I wouldn't be worrying about getting a job. I wouldn't be worrying about keeping my grades up. You know, it's just all that stuff, okay? So you guys are now, because we have 3 people instead of 4, you guys are just going to take turns and you guys are just going to like talk with each other. So you're going to answer, what did you think about this story? What did you like about it and what you didn't like about it? Okay, and you guys talk all the time. So talk about that question. What did you guys think about the story?
I like how she explains like how she hated being 11. Like being 11 is bad for her.
Yeah, right? And you wouldn't, you expect a kid to be happy to be turning, like, another year, right? They're like, oh, it's my birthday, and they get all excited. Maybe they have, like, cake at their house, and they have a party, and their friends tell them happy birthday. But the whole story, she wasn't happy, huh? She was, like, upset. Okay? So that's good. What did you like, Adara?
I like that she was upset the whole story.
You like that she was upset the whole story? Yeah, it was kind of different. It's not something you really see happening, right? Okay? How about you, Melanie?
That she was acting all her ages.
She was acting like all her ages, like yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alright, so did the strategy I showed you today with the post-it notes, I see and I think, did that help you understand the story a little bit better?
Yes.
Okay, how? Talk. How did it help you guys?
It helped me a little because I could see what's happening in my mind.
Oh yeah, I liked it too because we did it step by step, like little paragraphs. We stopped reading and then we wrote down so we can get it and what's happening.
Okay, good. Adara?
I think like we understand it after every paragraph we did.
Yeah, did that help you guys understand the story after like every piece? What if I just gave you guys the story and I said, okay, read all of it in 10 minutes and come back? And I said, okay, what did you learn? Would it be easier to tell me what happened in the story there or what we just did now? What we just did now, right? If I give you this in 10 minutes and you have to remember every single thing of the story, would that be pretty hard?
Yes.
Yeah, right? It would be hard to figure out what the main idea was. Do you think you would use this strategy again? So when you guys go back to school in August and you guys are going to go into 8th grade, right? Okay, so you guys are going to get a lot more harder text than this, right? They're going to be a lot more difficult. Do you think that you could do this with those other texts that you're going to read next time?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Assess yourselves. Okay. So, did you guys understand how to think aloud when you guys were reading today? So, did you guys understand the strategy? Okay. So, you guys are going to put up 1 of 3 fingers. I want you guys to put up a 1 if you guys still need help with the strategy. I want you guys to put up a 2 if you need more practice or examples with it, or a 3 if you understand it pretty well. So 1, you still need help. 2, I understand or need more examples, or 3, I understand it. I understood it pretty well. So a 3, and a 3. Okay. So thank you guys for being part of my lesson today, and I hope you guys use this strategy going into 8th grade. Okay. what you see and what you think. Okay, so good luck and thank you guys so much.